So I make TikTok videos a lot with my experience being in an inpatient rehab facility, and I just wanted to make a quick video. I'm not even gonna edit it. It's just gonna be me rambling about my experience and what led me to where I am right now and what it looks like. Because I Googled what it's like being a LGBT member in a rehab center, and I really couldn't find much. So I figured I'd put it out there and see if I could share my experience. So let's get right to it. I was working full time, and I had no medical insurance. I work in the medical field. I was drinking every single night. During the day, I was drinking. I got so bad that I didn't know how to function without being drunk. I was extremely depressed. I wanted to die every day. It was just a miserable existence. I then made the decision finally to stop. I knew I couldn't do it by myself, and I didn't have medical insurance. I tried calling, and I live in New York State. I tried calling every single place in the area that would take me. No one would take me because I had no medical insurance. I made too much money to qualify for any medical insurance through the state. So I didn't have the funds to pay $300 or $400 a month for that. With meeting a high deductible as well. So what I had to do is I had to leave my job, and I signed myself into an ER and let them know that I will go into withdrawals from alcohol withdrawal. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you can actually die from alcohol withdrawal. You can go into a seizure and your heart can stop. It's a terrible experience, and I've gone through it before, but this time when I signed myself to the ER, I remember I was fine for about 24 hours, and then that's when it kicked in. I had the shakes, I had the sweats, I was like hallucinating. It was horrible. The anxiety was through the roof. So I went to the ER, went to the triage nurse. I said, I'm going to withdraw from alcohol. They immediately brought me back into the ER. This is during COVID time, so they had masked me up, put me in a separate isolation room. From there, they put me on a drug called Ativan, which is like just chills you out. And I really don't remember much for the 3 days I was in the hospital, but they kept me heavily sedated, plenty of fluids. They hooked me up to an IV. Once I was medically stable, someone came by and asked me if I wanted to go into treatment. And I let them know I had no medical insurance, and they said they'd handle everything. So I was fortunate enough to be accepted into a hospital for a separate hospital, basically a 28-day detox program. So from there, I went to a place called St. Mary's. St. Mary's is a place where you stay out for 28 days, and they give you intense therapy. It's group therapy, one-on-one therapy, and you basically just talk about what led you to the place where you're at that moment and what you're looking for in the future. And it was an amazing experience for me, and I didn't feel unsafe at all. It's not like an insane asylum where you're thrown into like a communal shower and you're stripped naked. It's nothing like that, in my experience anyway. They had me, the worst thing with the getting naked thing is they had you change in front of someone to make sure you weren't carrying any drugs. All your urine tests are supervised, but they're not like staring at you while you're going to the bathroom. It's literally, they just have to be in the same room. After the 28 days was up, you have a counselor you're on their caseload, and they actually gave me an option. I had 3 of them. I live in upstate New York. There was 2 that were close to the area where I live at, and there was one that's a little bit further away in central New York, and I chose the latter. I went to central New York, and right now I'm in an inpatient rehab facility. Long term, so I'm here for about anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. I've been here already 2.5 months. I have my own room, as you can see. I can hang things on the wall. The accommodations are really nice. There's a chef that cooks food for me. I attend meetings 2 or 3 times a day. The rest of the time is a lot of downtime, and with that downtime, you kind of had to figure out how to cope with being content and being bored and not using a substance in order for you to feel better. All these feelings flooded to me because whenever I felt something too much or I didn't want a feeling to feel anymore, I just drink it away. And here, it's surprising how much downtime you have. You need to figure out what to do with that free time in a productive manner. I'm living with 16 heterosexual men, and I was a little bit fearful of that because, I am a man still, but I have different interests than a lot of these men here. And I thought to myself, is this going to be like high school? Are they going to pick on me for being gay? Are they going to do this or do that? In my experience, no. Everyone's been really kind, considerate. It's not even a problem. And if that's something that you're afraid of, I wouldn't really be afraid of that. A lot of people here that are in the situation are at their lowest of low, and you feel low as low, and we all try to build each other up together. And that's been my experience with it, and it never was an issue. I've never been picked on, called any names, called out my name, nothing. Everyone's been really supportive. From this inpatient, after the 3 to 6 months is up, and I'll probably leave in the next 30 days, you have a choice. You can go to a halfway house, which means let me rewind this. While I'm here in this inpatient, you can't leave at all. So you can have a phone though, you can have TV, you can have your clothes, you just can't leave the premises. So that's what inpatient's like. From here, you can go to a halfway house, which means you're half in, half out. So you can go to AA, NA meetings, you can go to support groups, you can go to the store, you can go to the mall, you can go to the movies, you just have to be in by a certain time. Or you could do the other thing, which is supportive living. And supportive living is independent living. So they give you an apartment that's paid through your insurance. And while you're in this whole treatment process, you're put under disability because you are disabled. You're unable to work right now because you're focusing on yourself, and that's the beauty of it. So I'm in a really good place right now. I am waiting to get into independent living and move into my own apartment. And from there, I can go to school now. So during this whole crazy time of COVID, a lot of opportunities opened up for everyone to return back to school, even if you defaulted on your loans. Because, as addicts, we let go of a lot. And the downtime that you have here in places like this is time to figure out what you let go, and you can basically fix issues like tickets, fines, legals, anything. Use the time that you have downtime and the resources that are available to you here to help get rid of all that stuff, so you're starting fresh, you're starting new. You are given, in New York State, the county that you're going through, I get $186 as an allowance, but everything else is paid for. So your food's paid for, but they give you an extra $186 so you can get toiletries and any kind of shampoo you want, any kind of special food. You're on food stamps while you're here too, but they take most of it to feed you while you're here. It's definitely a humbling experience, but to not have to worry about paying bills or anything else in life and just solely focus on getting better, you're never going to have an opportunity like that as an adult. So I'm taking everything not for granted. I literally am so grateful that I have this opportunity right now. And I'm going to be going back to school in September, and I'm allowed to stay in this new apartment for up to a year. Up to 2 years, so I can finish my degree while being here. And I have accountability in independent living because you have a curfew. You have to be in by 10 o'clock at night every night. And it's just another fail-safe to make sure that you're doing the best that you can for yourself. So if this video helped you at all, my recommendation, no matter what state you're in, contact the hospital that you're going to sign yourself into for the ER for detoxing, and make sure they have a program available to take you after you're done detoxing. Some places do not offer this 28-day program afterwards, so try to find the county. Even if you have to drive an hour or two away, drive there and do that, because a lot of times you'll detox and they'll send you home. If you want to go on this journey and really do it the long way, the whole process, find a place that's going to take you directly out of the hospital and into a 28-day, and then go the steps that way. And you can easily call the hospital, and there are case workers there that can guide you in the right direction. There's also something called a SERPA, and that's someone that is a peer advocate, so they'll know all the resources that are available. If you call the hospital, just ask to see if you can speak to a SERPA representative, and they will steer you in the right direction. So again, if you have any questions, comments, just leave something down there below, and I'd be happy to answer them. All my TikTok videos are, some are just funny, some are just, related to recovery. You can find me at TikTok at David Dondo. That's David Dondo. I'll put the link below. But I hope you're safe and I hope you're well. And if you want recovery, you deserve it. And trust me, I didn't think I was going to come out of it, and I did. So if you're struggling, I know what it's like. You'll be okay. Just look for help. You can do it. Take care.